Hey everyone, it's Mr. Hollywood, and today I'm doing quick NFL postseason predictions. And I just want to say up front, I'm really only like a casual NFL fan, so I'm definitely not an NFL pro. MLB is definitely way more of my jam when it comes to being a nerd in terms of players, statistics, teams, and all that. However, I'm just really doing this for fun, predicting the NFL postseason. So, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Let me know all of that down below in the comments. And let's start my very quick postseason NFL predictions. Now, for round one, so the wild card round, Steelers versus Texans. I think this could go really either way. I think Texans are definitely the better team, but Steelers, because of the fact that they weren't in a very good division, they are the higher seed because they won the division, and the Texans were a wild card. I just want to say up front, that Sunday game was like amazing, one of the best NFL games period I've ever seen, and I would just say it might be the best NFL regular season. So I'm actually cheering for the Steelers to win the AFC, but I do think the Texans will win against the Steelers. Now, the Jaguars versus Bills will be a really fun battle to watch. Probably the most fun in the AFC wildcard round, but I think the Bills are going to win. I do think they are not as high seeded as they probably should be. They are the number 6, but I still think they'll have no problem beating the Jaguars. And then the Patriots versus the Chargers. I think the Patriots are going to win. However, I do think the Chargers are still a bit of a dark horse. It's like, I think they could win, I just don't think they will. However, that just means, I think Patriots will win against the Chargers. Though I do think they are a bit of an overhyped team going into the playoffs, I'll just say that. Now, for the NFC wildcard round, the Panthers versus Rams. On one hand, you have an 8-9 division winner in the Panthers, and on the other hand, you got a team that had just as many wins as 2 of your 3 division winners. So it could definitely go either way. I actually think the Panthers are definitely a team that is a bit slept on, but I do think the Rams will end up winning. Now, the Eagles versus the 49ers. I think this is a no-brainer. Eagles will win. Now, they have been a little bit disappointing this year, and they've definitely been sloppy, but I still think they're going to have no problem beating the 49ers. And then the Bears versus the Packers. On one hand, you got my favorite team in the Packers, and it has not been exciting being a Packers fan recently. And then you got the Bears, who were a laughingstock a year ago and have had an improbable season, had so many crazy comebacks, including one that we really don't want to talk about, but I guess I still have to give them their flowers. That was a crazy comeback they hold against the Packers during their most recent matchup. So the Bears are definitely a team to look out for in the playoffs, and I do unfortunately think they are going to beat the Packers. Now, for the conference divisional round, the Bills versus the Broncos. I think this will be really exciting. I could actually go either way, but I do think the Bills are going to win against the Broncos. I think the Broncos, just like the Patriots, are a bit overhyped right now. And even though I think the Broncos are a very good team, I just think the Bills are straight up a better team. Even if they have less wins, technically, I still think the Bills are going to end up winning against the Broncos. And then the Patriots versus Texans. I think Texans are a team that you shouldn't sleep on. And, they've never actually made it past this round. And I do think they are an underrated team. But I do think the Patriots, despite the fact I think they're slightly overhyped, I think they will end up pulling off a victory against the Texans. And now for the Seahawks versus Rams, I actually think Seahawks have it in the bag. And then the Eagles versus Bears, that will be really exciting if it does happen. I think the Eagles are going to end up winning. I know they've been sloppy, but I still think despite the fact the Bears are a higher seed, I think Eagles, despite the fact they've been a little bit up and down recently, I still think they're going to win against the Bears. And now for the conference championship, the Bills versus the Patriots. I actually think this is a no-brainer. The Bills, I think, have it in the bag against the Patriots. I know the Patriots did win the division. They're in the same division. They are 1-1 against each other this year, but yeah, it's theoretically something where I could see the Patriots winning. But I mean, like I said, I think the Patriots are overhyped. I also think Bills are a team of destiny, and I really think the Bills have what it takes to make it to the Super Bowl this year. And now for the Seahawks versus the Eagles, I think the Eagles are going to end up winning the conference championship. And now the Super Bowl. My original season prediction, even though I never posted on YouTube, it was Eagles versus Bills. I am still thinking that will be the Super Bowl matchup. However, preseason I predicted the Eagles would win back-to-back. However, times have changed. We've seen the regular season. We've seen how these teams operate. I think our Super Bowl 2026 champion is going to be the Buffalo Bills. I think this is their year. So yeah, I think the Bills are going to win it this year. And also, a bit of in terms of my tiebreaker, number of total points in the NFL playoffs, I predict there will be 546. That's 42 times 13. So yes, I think on average there will be 42 points a game. So yeah, I mean, I didn't do very well in the MLB postseason brackets. We'll see if I do better in the NFL postseason bracket. So yeah, I think the Bills, I think this is their year. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Feel free to share which team you think is going to win the Super Bowl down below in the comments. And, I mean, buckle up because it's the playoffs. And go Packers. However, I think the Bills are going to do it this year. Now, thanks for watching, and peace out.